Like something is channeling all of this like mad energy through my brain. There's like free resources that I want to do. There. Look at all these categories I did. What a special time. It just needs a final edit, I know that. Now it just doesn't feel like a big deal. Externalise your thoughts, your ideas, everything in your head, and do not set any rules on what that needs to be or what it needs to look like. To help you, I'll show you mine. I'm just going to go with a very broad title of Things in My Head. Things in my head. And sadly I don't have A3 paper because I've run out, which is a shame, so I have to contain it to this old little A4. Things in my head. Here we are. I'll be honest, it's not flowing as much as usual because this camera's right in my face, but we're going to go for it. What's interesting about this is because I'm showing it to you, I'm already overthinking it, but I think that's a good description as to why you should just like not. Not that not overthinking is easy, but as in why you should just be like, right, what's coming up? Okay, things in my head, YouTube, right? YouTube videos. Creating this video, I've got loads of stuff to edit. I've got access to work video to edit. I've got a video I did yesterday to edit. I can't even remember what it's called. Another edit here. I've got some body doubling stuff. Now, the voice in my head right now is going, this isn't creative overwhelm rage. This is just you doing your to-do list. But then I remember, I can do whatever the heck I want. So that's what we're writing. And when I say body doubling stuff, that's not specific, but I have like some final edits of that. But what the issue is with this editing stuff that's currently on my brain is that I need to set up Premiere Pro on my other computer, i.e., Mr. Rachel's computer, because my laptop cannot cope with it. And I'm going to call that like, I like to give things project names. Project Edit HQ. Now, arguably, the need to set up this is causing me to avoid doing some editing when really, like, that doesn't have to have happened for me to finish some of these edits. So we're going to bear that in mind, but that's where we're at. In terms of other things that are going on in my head at the minute that I'm excited about, that I want to do, that I'm like, oh, I'm writing a book. It's about conversations between me and my inner critic and little journeys that we go on to heal from shame and self-esteem as part of my ADHD diagnosis. And that is just there. It exists. I want to do it. And actually, I feel compelled all of the time to do this. This is like my big creative outlet, right? But I keep not letting myself do that because I have so many other priorities and there's no rush for it. But it feels good. What else we got going on? Substack. So I have articles that I write for Substack. I currently have one almost finished. I then also have like 2 half-written rants. Sorry, okay, I'm gonna just, in my excitement and pizzazz to show it to you, I feel like my writing's gone to shit. I'm just gonna take a moment to pause and regain control of myself. And while I do that, I'm gonna just make it a bit nice. Creative pursuits. Where my head is currently going to is being like, this is about creative stuff, but it's spinning out into everything else in my life. And again, there's no rules on what this represents. And for me, those things are very intertwined. Like, if I have a creative pursuit that I want to do, you can't isolate that from everything that exists over here, which is like life. Do you know what I mean? So like house chores, picking your kids up from school, your day job, like all of that. There's a whole context of life that exists inside here. I don't think I'm going to fill that out with you now because I've personally kind of compartmentalized that a bit for the purposes of this, but I want to illustrate that to say none of this stuff happens in a vacuum. And so like if you're feeling really overwhelmed creatively, or if you have zero energy to do anything creative or to follow through with anything creative, this is important context. This is important context. Okay, other things in my head. Why are they suddenly gone now I'm telling you about them? Oh yeah. Drums. I'm currently learning how to play the drums. I'm obsessed with playing the drums. I don't have an electric drum kit. I really want to buy one, but like not a financial priority right now. So that's what I'm really excited about. But I have a little practice pad with sticks that's kind of doing the job, but really I'm just excited to get on a drum kit. However, it's a bit of like an obsession I'm in right now, where I'm like reading loads about it, watching loads about it, listening to drums about it. I'm going to put this here under obsession and also hobby, because I guess where this gets a little bit messy for me is like, this is also my job, because I'm in a wonderfully fortunate position to have a very creative job. So that's great. This isn't my job, but it feels good creatively and I love it and it's the best time ever. But if I'm not careful, it becomes this thing that's like, I haven't practiced the drums, and I said that I would. Over here I'm going to put secret creative project. That's something that I'm working on with my sister, very early stages, but you know, in a fun and lovely place, but like taking up room in the psyche by this weird little brain I'm drawing. So that's on my mind. Reading, we're currently just going into the hobby world now, but reading, something that I was enjoying on holiday, I've stopped doing since I got back off holiday, but I would like to do again. Question mark me, baby. This is work-related stuff, but I've also started putting together some like ADHD workbooks. Again, you know what? I was going to say it's in idea stage. It's not, because I'm repurposing learning content that I've created for university. So like the idea is there, most of the content is there. It's the putting it together to executing the final bit that's there. But even talking this out loud to you is like, that's not as big as I think it is, right? So we've got an ADHD workbook stuff. I'm wanting to relaunch my habits course in the new year, and there's a load of stuff around that that's like, figure that out and make it exciting. I want to make it very lovely. There's like free resources that I want to do. There. Whoa, my face got real big. Don't know what I'm saying, I've got this on. If I just move backwards. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Whoa, what strikes me as I write this to you, and I find myself wanting to be like, I don't know if that makes sense, chaos, but I've also learned that through doing these videos and through you marvellous people, that actually just talking through some of my thoughts seems to be helpful. What I find interesting about doing this is it's I've not really done or said much, but it suddenly doesn't feel like such a big deal. And I think part of that, for me personally, has come over the last few years, like at least 2, 3, probably coming up to 4 years, maybe more, a lifetime of work, but definitely over the last couple of years, is growing my sense of being okay with the fact that like, what happens, happens. It will happen, it might not happen. I guess really it's a place of letting go and a place of surrendering, right? And this is something that has helped me so much in getting creatively overwhelmed, is when you're in that space of creative overwhelm, it's like you're flooded. It's a great flood. It's full of sparkles and loveliness, but it's like flooding. And I almost feel sometimes it's like zzz, like I can hear like a white noise of zzz in my head. Like something is channeling all of this like mad energy through my brain. And it's a lot, right? And you end up being like, I need to grab this stuff, I need to do all of this stuff. And also when we're in this high energy, the time perception becomes more complicated, right? And it's harder to perceive time. Like I've got a call, like it's 1:15, I have a call in 45 minutes. How did that happen? And also I become really unhappy with the fact that just like the physics of time and reality means everything that I have in here will not happen quick enough, fast enough, enough, right? When you accept that fact and you settle, it's so much easier to just be like, here is all of the stuff I am holding in my head. I would like it to happen at some point. Some of it might not. That's okay. But right now, today, in this moment, or this week, in this moment, what is the most important thing? Now, the word important is, of course, super challenging with ADHD. It's why we struggle with prioritization, right? Like, how do you judge the importance of something? And the tip I would give you on that, especially especially if it comes to more creative hobby type pursuits, where there might not be the same pressure as prioritising work projects, although as I've mentioned, for me, it is both, but the same principle applies. What is most important, ironically, is working out what's not important. It's not what you can prioritise, it's what you can deprioritise, what you can let go of. So when I look at this list, if I'm thinking about, let's just drill it back to this moment, let's not even think ahead of today. If I think about this list, here's what we're crossing off. Reading, yeah, nice, want to sort it out at some point. Is it relevant right now? No. Secret creative project I'm working on. Is it relevant now? No. It's exciting. I might have a whim of inspiration later on it. If so, I'll make some notes, but it's small, it doesn't need to be a thing. Bye-bye. The drums. Exciting. Am I going to play them right now? Could do. Would make me feel good. See, then you start going, would make me feel good. Actually, maybe that's a nice thing to do on my break later. Let's bring that more into the forefront. But fundamentally, that is a hobby obsession and interest that has no consequence, really, on my life, apart from bringing me joy when I feel like it, right? So part of the letting go is like, what are the things that it's actually fine to just do them when you wanna, and when you don't wanna, that's fine too. So of course, it is no surprise that the things that then you are left with, for me, are the work creative projects. I'm generally in a place at work at the minute of what I call good overwhelm, which is, I guess, the whole vibe of this video. Now, in a way, this is a weird meta thing that I'm explaining to you, because the very nature of me doing this video is ticking off me doing a YouTube video, yeah? So that's done. And in a way, that's helped me channel this intense, energetic moment of creativity that then I can settle, and then I can get a bit more like planned and strategic about it, right? So when it comes to the other creative things that I've got going on at the moment, what I personally find is there is a balance between strategic, if you will, and creativity. So for example, there's some digital products that I want to create, to share, to sell, and that was once a creative intensity, but now the interest and motivation has faded. The effort it will take me to round those things off is not a lot, but it feels like a lot because it's not immediately interesting. So those are the things that I need some accountability and some real, like, my post-it notes are here. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do, right? Same with Substack, same with YouTube. And then the Gruff book, what's interesting about this is it's not a priority, but I keep cycling round to this intense sense that I want to work on it and not letting myself. And what I will say is that if you have a creative spark in you in a moment, even if you can't channel it in that particular moment, find a place to let it out. Because sometimes, I swear, I don't let myself do something creative because it feels unimportant, not a priority, but then the very fact I can't just interferes with my ability to do anything else. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm going to put a quote here from Attitude magazine that I think is an amazing description of creativity and ADHD. Putting it here. I'm debating whether I do the next bit with you or on my own. I could just do it with you. We're straying away from dealing with creative overwhelm and moving into prioritising work tasks. But I guess that's kind of the point. Right, okay, how are we going to do this? I'm a bit worried that my camera will just suddenly decide the battery's dead because this became a whole thing. Also, who needs light when you've got natural light? And the moon faces in the sky. I'm having too much fun. No such thing as too much fun. Depends on the context. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do we, so many, how I lasted so long without knowing I had ADHD honestly blows my mind. It blows my mind. Okay, here's what we're doing now. I'm gonna record my screen at the same time. Just realised I got a half-eaten sandwich over there. Never mind. Do I know where my glasses are? No. It's only a light prescription, I'm sure we'll live. Jesus, where are we? You know what? Oh my god, not to have an emotional moment, but the reason why I'm smiling is because honestly, there's a time in my life, probably 2 years ago, even a year ago, where I would hate myself for this right now. I would be like so frustrated and annoyed that I just couldn't finish my sentence, track what I was doing, that my energy was intense. Like, honestly, like borderline self-hatred. So I'm just feeling grateful in this moment. And also, just to have a sentimental detour. Grateful for you, all of my subscribers and watchers and commenters, and honestly, it feels so cheesy, but like, I would not be doing the work that I'm doing, and I would not have the confidence to have left my job, and I would not feel so good in myself if I didn't have the validation from you. Validation's a tricky one, right? Like, I don't mean it in like, I don't have self-worth without you. I think I'm pretty great. But people with ADHD in particular are externally validated. That's what we're wired for, right? Humans are externally validated. And when I say validation, part of what I mean is that, like, I used to beaver away in my corner with my journal talking about all the stuff I struggled with, feeling like I was no different to anybody else, but the only person that was struggling with it. And so when I started doing videos and doing them my way, and that felt fun and just like what spilled out of me, to get such a great response from everyone has been phenomenal. Now, where were we? I feel like this is a very fitting situation. Got that off Etsy, by the way. Can't remember the name of the seller. Pointless story. Huh. Okay, something Past Rachel did do, well done Past Rachel, was actually record on a random whimsical day all of the content that I already have, so that when I wanted to like repurpose some of it, or just to be like, whoa, look at all you've done, I recorded it on Notion and split it into different themes and whatnot. So this is all the stuff we've got going on. There is on here a list, there's a planner list, but I also intended to, oh hey, oh look past me. I also intended to plan content in here and record stuff that's half done. Now that's always a thing, isn't it? Like, I don't keep up to date on this stuff. I'm under no illusions that like I'm there every week adding it in, but it's good in moments like this that I already have a database, a starting point, right? Because what will help me currently in this overwhelm is something that I keep going over and over in my notebook, but if it doesn't have a home, I'll forget about it, is what are all the projects that I've started? Let's put them in there. And when I say projects, articles, videos, or whatever, because I think part of the shame or the struggle with ADHD is feeling like you never finish anything. But if you look at everything that you've done or started or half done or whatever, you're halfway there. There's some stuff here I'm 95% of the way there. So I just need a lay of the land of like, this is where we're at, so we know what we're working with. So I'm just going to fill this in. I've got a YouTube video that I recorded yesterday that I can't remember what it's about. Let's not forget of this ideas notebook that I've got here. Right, we're going to spend some time just collating everything in the world. But we're going to stave off overwhelm. We're going to stave off overwhelm because we're in a weird state right now. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I do feel calmer and more together. But I feel easily distracted. So, Jesus Christ. There's part of me that's going, is it the right time to do this right now when you're in this state? And there's another part of me going, yes it is. Okay, so I've got a 25-minute Pomodoro YouTube video. YouTube. 25-minute Pomodoro body double is a YouTube video. That is literally, we're at like, look at all these categories I did. What a special time. It just needs a final edit, I know that. I'm not going to categorise them right now. CBA. Oh, to final edit needed. I also have a final edit needed of another video I recorded yesterday that was about, why has everything gone from my memory? I was sat here. These are the obstacles we're up against, guys. But you know what's funny? I know the solution. It's to check the name of the file, but it's in my G drive, which is here and not here, and I'd have to like plug it in. Oh, lordy. Oh, yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, it's about ADHD, why my ADHD diagnosis was life-changing. Right, okay. So that is a final edit needed. That is a YouTube. We've got that going on. I've got a Substack article called about like... I appreciate that's a really abstract title, but it'll make sense when you see it. So that's there, and that literally just needs final edit, right? Like, so many of this stuff, we're in the final stages. I'm not going to put my ideas on here, because that's like, I don't need more ideas right now. They'll still be swimming in my head, but like, I just need to catch and contain what we already got. Courses and workshops. So something I want to do is change this into a study pack to sell. So that's already there as a course, but I'm gonna just add it on here because I want it as a workbook. Right, workbook, setting boundaries with empathy. It's also about setting boundaries with rejection sensitivity. That's what it actually is. And I genuinely feel really excited to work on that, but then I get in a fliffle and I've not done it yet. So that's that. Let's say that needs to be... I'm going to put... It's not to write though, is it? It's to edit, because it's already written. It just needs reformatting and repurposing and stuff like that. What else we got? Oh, Substack. That's gone in there. Great. It's really not that much, is it? Now it just doesn't feel like a big deal. It doesn't feel like a big deal. Oh, also this video, let me add that on there. We're going to call this Creative Overwhelm Prioritization. Overwhelm Prioritization. That will need to be edited. So I'm not saying what I'm listed on here is quick, right? Editing of this take me ages. And then it comes back to, well, I need to set up the edit HQ, set it up on the thingy, fine, whatever. But even like the Substack article, right? I look at that and go, oh yeah, I need to just finish writing the tips and then schedule it. Like, why is that a big deal? It's actually fine. I'm confused by this magic. Cool. Cool. By the way, other small life tip, I was going to apologise for the state of my nails, and you know what? I'm not gonna, because, as we'll talk about in prioritising the creative ideas, sometimes you just gotta let go of the stuff that you haven't got round to doing yet, and not give a shit. So here we are.